Does it help?
Yes.
Yep. I can hear something now.
It fell out of the holder.
Okay.
No, I have a Yukon.
I've already told him on Facebook technical difficulties. What'd you write? Are we... Sorry, folks. If you can hear us, we're having audio. We're not having audio problems, but if you can't hear us, we are. And we started off. Oh, thanks, Don. Cough that, hack that loogie over here. We started with internet problems.
No, there's no internet problems.
Well, there was big internet problems.
Is there internet problems now?
Yeah. Might be why we're having audio and why there's such a long delay in this. Nice card, Don, from George.
Why do I keep hearing us about 5 minutes later?
Function key. Function. You just now discovered it?
We were talking about movies with really cool car scenes. And I had a chance this week to look at the movie Casino Royale, the latest version of it, that kind of evolved into Quantum of Solstice or Solstice of Quantum, I don't know, whatever it's called, that I did not know evolved from Casino Royale.
I didn't either.
It was kind of like a continuation. Both are really good. I guess I spent probably 5 hours of my life watching those two things that I thought that were pretty good. A lot of car scenes in them. One of them was completely destroyed the Aston Martin DB. What was the James Bond wonderful car that he destroyed?
Is it a DB6?
Wow.
Was it the 6 or the 7? One of them. And so they destroyed it again. Destroyed another one again. And then in the Quantum movie, they destroyed much later, like a current model. So it was a lot of
No car cost.
correct.
He's does a real nice job and builds some nice show cars, but you're not going to be afraid to take it out and get a rock chip in it, driving it around in a rally or something. So
we also have. Is Nick Kappa going to join Vincent Galante?
Nick is going to actually be running the Zoom meeting, if you will.
That didn't answer my question.
Yes, is my understanding. He'll have to because he's running it. Yes, that's the answer to your question.
Anyway, both are with Mike. Put down here FCA, which no longer exists.
Yeah, that was.
He's going to. He's going to be
that other one. Yeah,
Stellantis or Stellantis, whatever you want to call it.
It's got to be an abbreviation.
It's about the screens, and General Motors actually makes several vehicles where the screen comes up.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
And it's got the gun thing behind it. You can put your handgun in there, and then the screen comes down.
Oh.
Is that what it was designed for?
I don't think it was designed specifically for that, but from what I've seen from other people's pictures, that it works perfectly.
And
except for that great big 45 long gun. Yeah, no.
In 1911. I remember, Mars, was a couple of weeks ago you had talked about Mercedes now has a 54-inch screen that goes from
all the way across
the driver's door all the way to the passenger door.
Don had one.
No, it wasn't quite that big, but it took up half the dash anyway.
So as the technology advances, boy, I'll be honest with you, the
gloomy kind of day.
It is.
Yeah, it's that kind of mood.
So we're also going to talk to Trey Sider in the 10 o'clock hour. He's with Busted Knuckle Auctions, which is actually locally based around the Houston area. So that ought to be fun because it's kind of a different kind of setup the way he works his auction. It's all online, and it's pretty cool, actually. And then Jeff is going to have a review of the VW Passat, the 2017 model.
Okay.
Do they still make the Passat?
Yeah. I believe so, yes.
I think it's was it the e-Golf that they dropped?
Yes. Well, yeah, the electric car.
Yeah. And they stopped making the Golf down in Mexico.
The Gulf of Mexico?
Going to continue building it in a different location, but it's only going to be the GTI and the R. Then we're going to talk to Javier Gomez, president of Los Soberanos Car Club. Am I correct?
Did you
Never mind.
enunciate that correctly?
Mars
I think
Mars is in
Yes,
another world
you're
over
correct
there.
until Javier corrects us when he comes
say
on
it.
the
How'd
air.
you say it?
Javier.
How'd you say it?
Javier.
No, not Javier. That's correct. I was talking about the car.
Los Soberanos.
That's right. Because I asked him, I said, so it's basically like it's spelled. And he said, yes.
Bunch of sober guys.
That wasn't my impression, but okay.
Oh, well, I mean,
It had the 302 in it. I don't think it was a DZ block.
Those were
speaking
the
of
good old
car
days.
collections, I don't know whether I shared with our audience that I had a wonderful opportunity to go visit Daryl Wisniewski's private car collection. Absolutely stunning. And these are all not necessarily factory originals, but they have been restored, if they're not factory original, restored back to the way that they were when they came from the factory. So there's nothing out of the ordinary in there that wasn't available from the factory. But what we does have are rare, very close to one-off kind of cars that the factory built and made 30 or 40 of the cars.
Now, what genre of car?
Muscle car era.
60, 70 generation muscle cars?
Yeah. From, well, I would say the early 60s when it was kind of under the table hot rods.
Right.
All the way through the 70s.
And that's a lot of what Tregworthy's collection is as well. It's 50s, 60s, 70s stuff. He's got a couple of pieces that are later than that, but he had. It'd be interesting to see what is Wisniewski's collection. I know you.
Well,
you had a chance to see it.
packed in there pretty good. It's not open to the public. It's his own
Personal.
So he doesn't sell, trade, add to it, or hey, I'm done with this one.
He does add to it. He does sell some stuff. He knew everything about the car because he doesn't buy the car unless he knows everything about it, and he does all the research on it and everything.
The one we had was red, and does come because it's off-road. It does come with retractable running boards. Plates are underneath it. It's got the. I actually squeezed 18 out of it. I thought it was quite nice, and when driving it. I mean, obviously, it's not like the Denali with the big V8 in it, but the 10-speed.
Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy, weather permitting. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the...
All we really have left first, and then it's going to go to the upholstery shop.
Do you do your own upholstery, or you hire it out, or how does that work?
We do as much as we can. It depends on what the customer wants. If they buy a factory kit, we'll put the door panels on and the interior trim, and then we'll take the seats and send those out and get them covered by an upholstery shop. But if somebody's cut the tunnel to put a bigger transmission in, then we have to send it to the upholstery shop so they can modify the carpet to get it to lay in there right.
Yeah.
And that's a totally different skill set. You were talking about you're thinking of bringing on another technician. I was going to ask, in that technician, is it mechanical or body? And then the other question is it interior trim? Because each of those skill sets require a very specific person to do that. Generally, the guy that wants to do the fine trim work.
Correct. Like right now, it's like we'll take 2 or 3 of us and we'll start assembling a vehicle together. Especially because we paint everything in pieces. So when you're going back, you got to be real careful putting everything back together. So you need all hands on, trying to line parts back up and get them where they're supposed to be without scratching the paint.
And your trim, who's called revenue?
Yeah, no, it's all good. We got a little Bronco. We got 2 Broncos. Got a 78 Bronco. We're fixing to get into the paint shop, and we just painted a little 70 Bronco. That's going to be a real nice truck. 2
totally different trucks. 78's the big OJ F-150 Bronco, and the 70 is the little off-road Bronco you see in all the Baja stuff.
Yep, it's crazy.
So is your 70? Is it V8 powered?
Yeah, it got a little 302 in it, It came in with the old, but an 88.50 in it. What we did is we took the intake off, put it on an old school intake on it, and we're going to put fuel injection on it. That way we can get rid of the OBD1 computers and harness and, just go make it simple, stupid.
Yeah, well, makes a big difference
Getting it to my level.
in a street rod to make it simple. A lot of the manufacturers are selling those total, engine, transmission, ECM kits that are to a large degree a bolt-in, trying to make it simple, but you still have to understand what you're doing when you do that. It's not like
the tuning of the cars. I mean, the programming. That can get pretty crazy.
And expensive for a builder because you have to buy all of the equipment to do that as well. All of the scanners.
A lot of guys will sublet that out. They'll find tuners, because you got to really know what you're doing if you're going to tune a vehicle.
Mm-hmm. So what else you got besides that?
Oh, we got the Bronco. I got a little Triumph TR6 in here. That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. That's something different.
Yeah. And then we got... I got a 69 Camaro that came in. I just got a 56 Chevy truck that we're going to put a TCI frame and suspension under. Put a little 350 in it, make it an automatic, not just a nice cruiser. So we just ordered the frame and most of them. So 69 Camaro. There's a couple. He's got a Speed Tech frame under it, and they just have subframe connectors, so they go all the way back to the back, and it acts almost like a full frame. So you put your subframe in, you put your rear diff full link in, then you connect it with the subframe connectors, and that it acts like a full frame.
Yeah, it stiffens everything up.
So you don't have to go back and cut any kind of floors or any structure from the body out of it. It just sits on top of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, I mean, unless they want big, weird, tires in the back and you got to tub them out. But other than that, most of them you don't have to. It depends on the build and where you're going to go with it and how far the customers want to go.
And how much they want to spend.
Sure, absolutely.
Do you tub cars?
Yeah, so we're fixing to do, I got a 71 Roadrunner out here, and we're fixing to tub the rear end on that because he wants some pretty good sized meat behind there.
And so
he's going to put a Hellcat motor in that thing.
Yikes.
So do you actually cut the rear axle too?
He will once we get, and maybe not on this one, because the offset on the wheels is what his main concern is.
Gotcha.
And that's the only reason for the cutting. But on the rear diff, we may not be cutting the diff there.
So a lot of our listeners and watchers are going to wonder, why do you have to put a new frame in or like a TCI frame underneath? And you got to realize the power output you can put in today's vehicles, the old frames and the old suspensions just won't work. And it's much easier to put a piece underneath it to make everything come together.
Yeah, and most of your new frames are all boxed, so they're a lot stiffer. These old frames, they're really pretty soft metal. I had a Ford truck in here just a few months ago that was in a wreck, and it's nothing like pulling on these newer vehicles. Those frame rails swung around it's real soft. You hit them with a hammer, they move real easy. So this stuff they're building these frames out, they're boxing in the frames and they're really stiffening them up. So an original frame is actually pretty soft.
Are there vehicles that you won't work on? And your name's Sweet Rides, but
you always have some cars in there. Do you build cars specifically for things like that, or are you just something that just happens to come out really exceptionally nice?
Yeah, we don't build them for the show. I mean, unless the customer wants to really put them in there. They come out so nice sometimes, and cars evolve as you build them. So as they start coming along, they just, you add this here and you add that there, and they just, next thing you know, they turn out nicer than you thought they were going to turn out. So a lot of my customers don't know about Autorama. So we had that teal Firebird that we did a few years ago. They knew nothing. Didn't even know anything about it. So when they saw their car on display, they were really floored because it got a lot of attention. And it's not a show car; it's a driver. He drives that thing all the time. But it just turned out so nice that it did present well.
Okay, cool. Because that's kind of what I was wondering. I mean, obviously you've got plenty to do on your hands and stuff, but you haven't lost anything because of Autorama or anything close it down.
No, it's just like Don's Corvair, though. I mean, that car came out. Yeah, that car came out better than I think all of us thought it was going to turn out.
He come out really nice.
I know. I remember when I took it over there to Mark. He says, "Well, I'll tell you what. Let me talk to the guys and see if we really want to take this on." I said, "Look, Mark, it doesn't really have rust on it. It's got a spot here and there. We had to put on that panel up there underneath the windshield, but I bought that for him, and they put it on. You'd never tell that it was a replacement panel. And, the car was clean. It had dents in it. The roof had been caved in at one point, but nothing that was critical.
Structural.
Nothing structural. It had never been wrecked or anything like that. And, it turned out. Actually, it turned out better than I thought it would turn out.
It was really nice.
It was a very nice car, and tons of compliments. Hey, who did that? Sweet Rides did that. Mark Rancourt, give him a call, blah, blah, blah. And, the guys over at Elite Glass and Trim did the interior. I selected the wheels with the help of Jeff Zekin. I selected the tires because I wanted that kind of look on the car.
Well, I remember Mark wouldn't put stickers on it. He wanted to put paint on it.
Yeah, he wanted to paint the stripes on it. He was appalled that I even mentioned the word stickers.
He does have scruples.
Yeah, the fake carbon fiber stripes.
That's what I wanted on there.
He
yeah.
does have scruples.
He's laughing at us.
That's okay, Mark. You can always make fun of me because I'm kind of like one of those guys that you make fun of. I'm the one that had the black horn rim glasses, so it's okay.
Well, I remember Mark talked about he had to take the J.C. Whitney catalog out of your hands.
It was in the glove. It was in the glove box. Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was that. But it turned out great. I mean, I told you that the guy that bought it was the owner of
Edible
Arrangements
yeah.
out of Atlanta. Yeah, so. He obviously had good taste and recognized something that I don't think that really too many people would think would look as good as it did.
It would look wonderful. I just put up on our Facebook page the Yenko Stinger.
Yeah.
And a whole collection of photographs of it, and the car is comparable. What Mark had built to a.
There was one for sale not too long ago.
The visuals of the Stinger.
Right.
I think that was kind of the intention as well.
To be honest with you, I think that my car looked better than the Stinger because the Stinger. Obviously, tastes evolve.
Right.
And a car that might have been done 15, 20 years ago was perfect and beautiful at the time.
Back then.
But today, things have changed, tastes have changed, and that sort of. I never thought in a million years that I would lower a car, ever. Well, I did.
And it made all the difference in the world of the aesthetics of how the car, the stance of the car was awesome.
And I didn't slam it on the ground. You didn't have to do that. But I also increased the wheel diameter at 1 inch. Was it one or two, Jeff?
Do you have 14s or 15s on it?
I think it had 13s originally, and we went up to 15s.
Yeah. So it was a plus two.
So it filled the wheel well, which all contributes to the look. Yeah.
Right.
The zero offset. It was perfect. Yeah.
And none of that had taken place when Mark handed it over to me. As a matter of fact, it didn't even have work. Mm-hmm. Mark, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for taking this Saturday time out for us, and we appreciate it.
Sweetrides.com.
Yeah, just go to Facebook on Sweet Rides, the Sweet Rides Restoration.
Okay, very good. We'll do. Mark, it's great to see you. Good to talk to you. Thanks again. We'll check back with you soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too, man. Love talking to Mark. Okay, a couple of headlines I wanted to do here. Pete Buttigieg, President Joe Biden's nominee to head the U.S. Transportation Department, won bipartisan support from senators at a Thursday confirmation hearing where he said it was possible new gas tax revenue could fund infrastructure. Asked by Republican Senator Mike Lee if he knew revenue could include gasoline tax hikes, Buttigieg said, "It's possible. Certainly many states have taken that step, including my own, Indiana, but it's not the only approach." I believe he's from Indiana, isn't he? After the hearing, a spokesman for Buttigieg sought to clarify his remarks. He said, "The variety of options need to be on the table to ensure we can invest in our highways and create jobs, but increasing the gas tax is not among them." Congress has not boosted the 18.4 cents per gallon federal gasoline tax since 1993. That tax is now worth just 10.2 cents after adjustment for inflation.
Never met a tax they didn't like.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, we knew that was coming. All right, well, that's it for this hour of the In Wheel Time Car Show. We've got more right after this quick break. Invite you to stay with us. Oh, I guess I need to do this first.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone...
Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Seekin right off camera over there. We'll be seeing him in the next hour. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today. And you'll let me know when our guests are ready, Mr. Mars. They are ready?
Yeah, it looks like Nick's chickened out on us. It's just going to be Vincent.
Well, that's why I asked you earlier, is it going to be Vincent? And that's just fine. So let's put him up and take a look at him because, you know, Nick's a nice guy, but looks, not so much.
Oh,
And you can go ahead and tell him that. Is he sitting off to the side or something?
No, I don't. No, he's not.
He's not even there.
No,
Well, it's good to see you. How have you been?
Good. Thanks for having me back.
You bet.
Good
Working
morning.
for a new company now, and I'm sure that everything has changed, which is probably nothing at this point. And the company's called Stellantis, used to be FCA. And congratulations, the number 4 automaker in the world now. And that's really something. And I know that everybody there is really excited about the future and joining up and being partners with now a European branch of the same car maker. So it's going to be really exciting to see the things to come. And we appreciate you joining us today. I know that's not why we wanted to talk to you. We wanted to talk to you about the new Uconnect 5. And I have always been a fan of the Uconnect system since it first came out. And I want to know exactly what you have done between 4 and 5. You know, when you step up another number, you usually bring new and exciting things to things called Uconnect. So tell us about it.
Sure, no problem. And thanks. Appreciate the that you guys really like the system. I think the biggest thing you'll notice is it's 5 times more powerful, and so it's just lightning fast.
So I have to interrupt you and say, what is it that makes it faster?
So there's a more powerful computer behind it.
Got it.
With a faster processor, and there's also an Android operating system, and so that's the most widely developed system in the world. And so it's just going to offer us all kinds of future opportunity to bring in new content and services. So I think that's one of the biggest things is that it's just so much more powerful.
What was the operating system on it before?
It was a designed in-house operating system. So it was our own.
Gotcha. Well, it worked just fine, and I assume that you guys have worked closely with Android and Google, I guess, and have done amazing things with the speed, clearly, from what you say. And with that kind of technology upgrade, does that allow you to do more things with the Uconnect?
Absolutely. I think when we went from Uconnect 4 to Uconnect 5, we had to be really careful because our customers are really tell us they love how easy to use the system is. So we built upon that. We evolved the system and added some great new things like our home screen. Gives us really enhanced personalization and allows you to build your own interface so you can get to all your favorite stuff with one touch. The second thing, we also brought in a lot of great new features. One of those, I think, is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and another is we fully integrated Alexa voice. So we've taken all the great things about Uconnect and really tried to evolve it and just bring it to the next level for our customers.
There was on the new Jeep Grand Cherokee L, the new one. Jim Morrison was kind of giving us an overview of it, but I noticed on the web that there's a couple of things that you've done visually, like with the Macintosh. That you've kind of. Can you talk to a little bit of that? I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. So when it came to the Grand Cherokee, I'm glad you guys brought that up. Jeep is really special, and so we always want to do something for those vehicles that just takes it to the next level. So the Macintosh audio is one of those things, and in addition, the interior design team, really took inspiration from Macintosh's product design and built that into the door speakers, into the speakers on the IP. We also brought that into the screens. So their signature power meters, you actually have access to the Macintosh app in the system, and you can actually watch those power meters move while you're listening to music. So that's pretty cool. I think the other thing about the Grand Cherokee is now, instead of just being kind of in the center stack in that radio area, we've actually brought Uconnect 5 to right in front of the driver. So we've got a 10-inch full digital cluster now and a 10-inch full color heads-up display. And so if you imagine, you can really have this, what I really love about it is you can put your speed and your turn-by-turn direction, say, in the heads-up display, a full screen map on the instrument cluster, and then have that home screen on the to your right with just one-touch access to everything. I never have to change it. I can drive and have everything right at my fingertips. So I think
all on display. Yeah,
all on display. So we're really excited about giving the customers all this flexibility and all this new content, but making sure that it's not scary for them. You can set it up the way you want, and you can just get to things quickly. So.
And is that part of the Android operating system that's allowed you to do that?
Yeah. Part of it's the Android operating system, and that's what's allowing us to bring in the map, the maps from TomTom and even the Macintosh app. And the other part of it is that that processor we talked about. It allows us to replicate things on multiple displays. It gives us better resolution, more pixels on the screen, if you will. So. It's really offered up a lot of future possibilities for us.
So is the new Jeep Grand Cherokee going to be the poster child, if you will, for the new Uconnect 5?
It's the most advanced one that we've shown so far. Yes. So it takes all the great things about Uconnect 5 and really builds an exciting and enhanced driving experience for those customers.
So our first experience will be when we get to drive the new Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah. So Uconnect 5 is on today in the Pacifica, in the 21 Pacifica and the Durango. I think we've probably all seen the Durango Hellcat.
Yes, we have,
which is awesome. So that vehicle also has Uconnect 5 in it, and some nice improvements to our performance pages. And then the Grand Cherokee takes what's really all those great things and really brings it to the next level by including the heads-up display and the digital instrumentation.
Well, that was my next question about the performance pages, because I got to drive the Hellcat Red-Eye Charger not too long ago, and I have to tell you that just in a year or two, I have discovered other performance page applications that are available to me that I didn't even know were in there. Are all of those just brought forward from the 4, or have you added to those as well?
So we've brought those over from before. We've added to them a little bit, some things to make the information a little bit clearer, to lay out the buttons in an easier to use way. But the biggest thing is, if you remember, you probably went to the app drawer to find the performance pages.
That's correct.
You can get to that right on the main screen now. So there's a little vehicle icon at the bottom. You push that, and it takes you right. It'll take you right to a landing page, and as soon as you hit the button, it loads. So that's the other advantage of the Android operating system.
Shortcut.
It's like a shortcut. And so I think on our Uconnect 4 systems, the performance pages are awesome, but there's a little bit of a loading time when you bring them up. With Uconnect 5, there's no loading time. You hit the button and it's there. So some of the improvements to it are just getting our customers to it quicker.
Well, that comes into the processor that you're talking about, being able to manage all that work that it's doing behind the screen, literally.
Yep, exactly.
How long have you guys been working on this?
So the Uconnect system came out back in the late
1960s, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, it didn't.
But we've never. It's always. I always get the question, how long did it take to design? Well, we never really stop. It's software, so
it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress all the time. So, and that's one of the great things with the new system, we have over-the-air updates. So now, rather than having to wait for vehicle launches, we're going to be bringing new content and new improvements all the time. It can be a constant flow of to our customers. So
it's an over the air kind of update.
Yep, over the air updates.
So
yep.
you can add features and content just through internet downloads into the vehicle.
Correct.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Especially when you talk about how the processor's faster and using the Android operating system, the expandability is to a large degree endless. If you could think of it, you could add it to the vehicle.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and it's a pretty exciting time to be a user experience designer.
Well, and the one thing I know about FCA in the you guys listen to your customers. That's actually been, it's not that you're wanting customers to contact you to tell you stuff. You tell them to contact you to tell them stuff. So you're always reaching out, trying to find that new thing that kind of gets you out ahead of the crowd. And Uconnect has been one of them for all of the operating systems that are out there. Uconnect 4 was steps above the rest, and if you've made it that much better with Uconnect 5, everybody's going to be chasing after you.
Thank you.
So what do you say to people that say to you, okay, I keep hearing these rumors about the cars being hacked after it doesn't make any difference what brand or model it is, that there seems to be more and more concern, whether it's true or not, that the cars can be vulnerable to being hacked, and anybody could get into the car and capture
take control,
capture its information, change settings, and that sort of stuff. Is that really true?
So I'm more on the design side. It's not really my area, but we do have a whole security team that watches over that to make sure that everything we do is safe and secure for our customers. So I have no worries.
And that's a moving target, because those people are full time trying to find out the way bad people are trying to interact with the system.
So you got people that know how to hack into the system, trying to hack into the system. That's comforting to know, because obviously it's like your own police force, trying to make sure that nobody gets
in safe and secure.
Yeah, exactly, because you don't want that information being changed, especially factory settings and that sort of stuff. How is the interface between your phone and Bluetoothing into the system?
Oh, it's great. We have a couple ways to do it. So you can use, like I said, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Those work just like Android Auto, Apple CarPlay today, except your phone never has to leave your pocket, which is awesome. And then the other way is you can actually connect two phones to the Uconnect 5 system through the native the phone app that's in there. And it works very much like it does today. Just a couple step process, a few button presses to connect the Bluetooth, and you're ready to roll.
So while you and your partner are going down the street together, that means that you could be on a phone call and your partner could be on a different phone call?
You can switch between them. So over the cabin speakers and the cabin audio, I can have, if I get a phone call, it can play over the cabin audio, or if my wife gets a phone call, it can play over the cabin, and it's just a simple toggle switch on the radio.
Well, and if she wants to, join in on the conversation with you, then all you have to do is say, "Okay, I'll join in with her," and then both of you are actually talking.
Yeah.
Well, see, Don's so old, he goes back to the party line. Back in the 60s.
That's what he's trying to see. Can he do a party line on your new Connect?
Hell, he doesn't even know what the hell the term party line means.
Well, but if your iPhone could join multiple calls, it'd be easy enough to do.
That is so cool, though. Think about the technology involved in that. I mean, just to think of how far technology has come in such a short period of time in your car. All of the things
if you want a good reminder, go get in my mother's 2002 Honda Odyssey van.
Walk right out there, and there's a 2001 Corvette that doesn't know anything about any of that.
Yeah.
No, I had to go out and buy a little cigarette lighter thing to make it Bluetooth.
See, they don't have cigarette lighters anymore.
So you said a little bit earlier, I kind of caught on it as far as where you are today. Where are you going tomorrow? What kind of things are in the bucket for the future?
I think you guys said it best. It's a moving target, and so one of the things for us in the design office is we're ahead of what you'll see on the road, of course. So we're growing the team, and I'm bringing in all kinds of new and different and diverse skill sets. So we're to find those kind of, we call them white space opportunities. I've got people that are user experience designers, but they may have a background in research or in psychology. And so they're really looking into that customer data and that customer feedback and trying to understand how can we make the experience better for our customers. I'm hiring interaction designers that, come from mobile and web backgrounds. So when we talk about bringing in things like TomTom Maps or Alexa. They have some experience in that world, or even connecting the experience to your outside the vehicle to the mobile app. And then at the same time, I think probably the most visual thing, and you guys will see some of this in the new Grand Cherokee cluster, I'm actually hiring video game designers.
I was just going to ask you that question.
Yeah. So, I grew up with a lot of sci-fi movies and playing lots of video games and all that stuff. And so, the graphics and the motions and animations that you see there, I mean, that's what I want the future to look like. So we're hiring the people that create those things, and bringing them into the studio to help show us what the future is.
So I'm going to ask this. I think I know what the answer is. So those people that you're hiring and bringing in tend to be, because all of us here are 60 plus.
I was going to say,
tend to be youngsters and coming out of the coming out of the tech industry.
What is the opportunity for the four overage guys sitting at this table? What is our opportunity?
You're welcome to buy a brand new Grand Cherokee L.
Equal opportunity for everybody. I would say most of the team tends to be from their early 20s to kind of mid 40s range, roughly. But again, we know. No discrimination there. We have plenty of men and women.
I didn't mean that, but that pool of talent and the things that you want to bring into the system, the youth are going to be the ones who are going to have those ideas and
absolutely,
and not have any bad habits, because they're going to be a little bit more free thinking of, hey, I want to do this now. Put me in a team to figure out how do we develop.
A little more artistic level instead of engineering level.
And it's actually. It's pretty interesting, kind of leading the team, because typically when you hire people right out of school or people that are, more junior designers, you bring them in and they're learning from you, right? They're learning from your experience. Well, the people I'm bringing in, I'm learning from them.
Wow.
So it's, it's changing so fast. And so we got to have an open mind, and we got to try new things.
What is your background? How did you get this job? I mean, did you got out of college and went directly to FCA?
I did. I actually.
Oh my gosh, he did.
Ralph Gilles.
Yes,
was
of course.
Actually my teacher. So I was in transportation design, and I spent the first kind of 2/3 of my career in Jeep design, Jeep exterior design.
Oh wow!
And I was put together with a team that had. All different disciplines of design: exterior design, interior design, color, materials, and user experience. And I remember saying, like, wow, do you guys see the opportunity here with user experience? You see where the future is kind of going? And sure enough,
now you're in charge.
Yeah. So it's been a pretty.
Got to have the vision first.
It's been, and it continues to be very exciting.
Are you still in touch with Ralph?
Oh, every day. Yeah, he's my boss. So.
Oh, okay, that worked out well.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's very passionate about this space as well, and really a big proponent of just of not doing things the same way. In this space, we are really reshaping our approach and trying new things.
Well, how exciting. My experience with Ralph Gilles was on a racetrack at Willow Springs, and you guys flew me out there. And
Don was screaming like a 7-year-old girl having fun on a roller
absolutely,
coaster.
And it was, one of those press events where all the press is going to drive the road course in a 700 horsepower I guess it was the Challenger.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about driving on. I don't know a road course, and I can't control 700 horsepower. So I said, Ralph, would you drive me? Oh no, you drive it. No, I know my limitations. I can't do that. Would you drive me?
Show me what it'll do.
Well, sure. I'll be glad to. Well, the people that were kind of governing all of the press people and everything didn't know that Ralph got in the driver's seat and I sat in the front passenger seat. Well, here we go across Willow Springs Raceway at about 1,000 miles an hour. And all these guys are standing at the fence out there watching this car go sideways, smoke pouring off the back tires, and around Willow Springs we go, and we finally pull in, and they're ready to kill the driver, thinking that it was me.
Until Ralph steps out.
Until Ralph took his helmet off. They go, oh, Mr. Gilles, sorry, we just wanted to make sure everything was okay. Yeah, okay. I walked out of there with the biggest smile ever. Well, it was a great experience, and he's a great sport, and what a great guy to work for, I can only imagine.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, what you just described, I mean, it's so cool working at a company that makes cars with that kind of emotion. I mean, one day and the user experience team it's really exciting because one day we might be working on a car like that, and the next day we're trying to design a family experience for the Pacifica. We could be working on a Wrangler, but there's just such a breadth of products, and with such cool
Plenty of
personalities.
variety.
So let's talk about Uconnect 5 and the Pacifica that's available now. It just so happens that I'm driving one. So tell me about that. What makes the Uconnect system different in the Pacifica, if it any, than it would be, say, for instance, the Jeep Grand Cherokee? I understand it's all the same, but is it really? Because I would imagine that you guys think of a different experience with the
You're
Jeep
kind of like
Grand...
tuning it. You tune it different for whoever the driver.
Do you actually tune it differently for the Pacific? You do?
Small things, but I mean, the first thing you'll notice in the Pacifica between that and other products with Uconnect 5 is with every single one, the look and feel fits with whatever the interior design is. So you'll notice that one has more, kind of the gray-blue colors and the real black cards and things to make it fit with the interior. We've also brought in some unique features. I'm not sure if you have the PHEV version, but just like we have performance pages in the Hellcat Durango, we have PHEV pages in the Pacifica to help you understand what that driveline is, what that powertrain is doing, what it's doing. We also have brought in something called the Fam Cam. If you guys know that, it gives you an interior view of the camera, so you can see the kids in the back seat, you can see the car seats, and you can actually take the Fam Cam or even the 360 degree camera for the outside, and you can put those right on top of the screen as a quick link. So I have a young family, and I know how distracting it is with the kids in the back. So with the Pacifica, again, that one-touch access is more important than ever. So you can put the Fam Cam, you can put the 360 cam right at the top as a hot link. You can set up those home screen cards, for whatever it is you need. If it's recent calls and navigation, and again, one-touch access to that. Just for again. Knowing what it's like to do a road trip as a parent with 2 car seats in the back, that was taken. Special consideration was taken.
So that is your daily driver, or what is your daily driver?
My daily driver's a Gladiator.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Well, Vincent, it is a real honor and pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your Saturday to talk to us. Is there a place, like, for instance, on Jeep.com or something like that, where we can take a look at the new Uconnect 5 system?
Yes, on Jeep.com. I think you can get all the information on the Grand Cherokee L, and within that, there'll be information about everything we talked about.
Well,
on Uconnect 5.
Sweet.
It's pretty exciting. Be sure and tell everybody we said hi. We love talking to you guys, and especially you, and thanks. And congratulations to your upward movement there at Stellantis.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Have a great weekend, guys.
You do the same. We appreciate you. Well, how fun was that?
That was awesome.
Yeah, great interview. Okay, well, it's time now for this hour's car review, and I had a chance to drive the 2021 Buick Enclave. The Buick Enclave comes in several trim levels: Preferred, Essence, Premium, and Avenir. I had, which you're looking at there, the Avenir front-wheel drive 1SP. That's trim level. It's considered a standard SUV, which actually puts it in the same category as, say, for instance, Chevy Suburban. Believe it or not.
It's a good-looking shot.
It's a 3-row crossover, seats 7 passengers, whereas the Chevy Traverse can seat up to 8. This one does not have a bench center seat. It has captain's chairs. Exterior changes from last model year, none. More stylized design than the competitor, Chevy Traverse. The C and D pillar, if you want to kind of combine the two, a little bit different, just not the front and rear fascias. So that's really what makes the difference in the outward appearance of the Buick Avenir, the Buick Enclave Avenir, and the Chevy Traverse. And it's really not noticeable unless you look at them side by side. Different wheels, obviously, for different trim classes. Overall, nice look. What I liked, the modern yet conservative near luxury design of the Buick. And I'm going to get to the pricing between the difference between the Chevy and the Buick in just a second. What could use improvement? I don't think anything. It's gorgeous. Interior highlights, integrated infotainment screen, which I really do like in the dash.
That's pretty.
Smooth, sculpted dash design. Uses Cadillac automatic transmission shift control.
There you go.
That one stick thing down there at the bottom. It's really cool and it's nice. I like it a lot. Backup camera image displayed on the rear view mirror all the time if you want it that way. It can also be switched over and not only just a rear view mirror, but you can use that backup camera at night. Cargo trunk room limited with the third row seat up. What I liked, storage area under the front center console, and plus it also had a very quiet cabin. 3.6-liter V6, 310 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque with a 9-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating is up to 5,000 pounds. Not a lot, but at least it's something. 18 miles per gallon city, 26 highway for a combined of 21. I got 22.5 miles per gallon over 315.1 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of power. What could use improvement? You cannot disengage the auto start stop, and you know how I feel about the auto start stop.
Yep.
I don't like it.
Well, that's part of how they get to the fuel economy they get to as well.
I know. And this is just a kind of an area that they're in between going electric to all of this stuff, or at least having that, or a hybrid at least. Now, as far as ride is concerned, smooth, comfortable ride. And it's different than the Chevy Traverse. They make these subtle changes between models, and that's one of them. What could use improvement? Suspension adjustability. But
I got it.
Alarm.
I'll get it.
If it's for me, I'm busy.
Take a message.
Hello?
Go ahead.
No,
Who is it? Is it
who knows?
anybody important?
I shut them down immediately.
Pizza.
Don't ever call again. Base trim price on the Buick was $53,800. Prices tested $57,990. This is a full tilt Avenir. This is the top of the line. Base model price is only $41,795.
That's
not bad.
pretty good in a full-size SUV.
Competitors, the Chevy Traverse starts at $30,995. So there's $11,000 price difference between the Chevy Traverse and the Buick Enclave Avenir. So the other competitors, the Acura MDX starts at $44,500, and the Audi Q7 $59,770. And that's a review of the 2021 Buick Enclave. I liked it. All right, time now for the cruise-in calendar. Do you happen to have that?
Yes, I do. So cruise-in kind of stuff that's going to be happening later today and tomorrow. 3 p.m. there's a cruise-in pizza night in Texas City. Tomorrow is the
is that the name of the cruise-in pizza night?
Pizza night.
Sweet.
Quick 30 is the season opener in Baytown. So they're going to be out running the track out in Baytown. Also out at Houston Raceway Park is the All-American Throwdown, kind of a cruise-in burnout contest, some drag racing and stuff. Should be a lot of fun. Looks like
Mars is going to take one of the press cars out there, I think.
Well, it looks like Seth's trying to engage more and more people to come on out there as the season goes on.
Well, Mars does the burnouts in the street in front of his house. So
I had to go around the corner.
Go around the corner.
My wife is complaining.
His mom complained.
His mom. Again.
And then also January 31st, next weekend, Houston Performance Driving, Twin Peaks meet up in the Woodlands. And then on the 30th is Rudy's Barbecue, Fire Up Car Show. There'll be 25 awards, and that's the Rudy's Barbecue there on 249, just south of Tomball. Saturday, February 13th, is the Houston F-Body Community Meet at Fountain Lake Drive in Stafford. So that's going to be close to you there, Donnie. The Lone Star Throwdown, February 26th through the 28th. And that's, pretty much the largest truck meet in the nation. And, Lonnie and Todd will be having a good time with that. But don't talk to them. They'll be busy. And then Saturday, the 27th, of February is Hot Rods and Harleys at the Harley-Davidson store on North Pines in Kingwood.
Okay, that it? Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict. And the In Wheel Time Show continues right after this.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You will see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? You found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
This is the award-winning Car Talk Show, In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Howdy along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us on this Saturday. Here around the Houston, Texas area, it seems like it's been foggy for weeks.
Yep.
Foggy and ugly weather.
Though last weekend was a wonderful day. A little chilly, but great day out there at Tailpipes and Tacos. And we want to give a shout out to Stan and Sheila. They're online watching us on Facebook.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys are here. I had nothing to do with the overcharges on Stan's credit card with anything. So I just wanted to say that.
Glad I wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have to tell you that we have a special guest, and his name is Trey Sider, and he is with Busted Knuckle Auctions. And we saw Trey not too long ago. I'm sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. Trey, rotate your phone 90 degrees. We've got you sideways. If you can hear us, rotate your phone 90 degrees.
Can you see us? Can you hear us?
We're working on it. Hello, Trey. I thought you said you had him.
I did.
Yeah,
I've lost him now.
Okay,
but we'll bring him back.
We'll get back to him. Trey Sider with the Busted Knuckle Auctions, and it's a different kind of an auction. And
there you go.
Is he there now? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had my phone on a tripod. I'm going to have to hold it in front of me. So
Well, that's perfectly
I'll do my
fine.
best.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's all we ever ask.
It's like doing a selfie.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
So Trey,
How you guys doing?
well, we're doing good. How are you? Not off to a great start, but we're okay.
Yeah,
We're moving.
I'm doing great. It's an honor to be on your show. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you coming up to me and telling me who you were and telling me about Busted Knuckle Auctions. And I thought, well, wait a minute. What you're describing is a little bit different than auctions that I'm familiar with. So instead of me trying to mess it all up for you, why don't you tell us about Busted Knuckle Auctions?
Yeah, we lost your sound.
And we got his picture up there.
No, it's froze.
Okay.
No, it's frozen.
We'll be back to you in a second.
No.
Oh, there we go.
is.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
I think it's because you're inside of a metal building is the problem. But at any rate,
Yeah.
So tell us about Busted Knuckles Auctions.
Okay, so Busted Knuckles Auctions, it launched about 9 months ago, and it's an online collector car, exotic car, motorcycle auction that I started. And what we do, everything is online. People bring their cars or motorcycles to me from across the country or locally, and I put them on my website for a 7 to 10 day auction. They send me all the facts about the car, pictures, videos, things like that. And then I upload it all. I do a creative write-up on it, and I post it on my auction. I let the vehicle owner pick the reserve price, and hopefully it meets it. I collect a 5% commission from the winning bidder. I do not charge to sell on my auction. So if you bring your car or motorcycle to me, I list and sell it for free. That's kind of where my niche is.
and I was going to say that's what makes you different than so many others.
Yes, I have a few competitors, not really many, that are.
Yep. Lost him again. I posted a link to his website up on our Facebook page. So if people want to go take a look, they can see that. Hopefully he'll pop back in here in a second. But a pretty nice collection of cars. I'm looking at Jaguars, a '69 Camaro.
Mike, maybe we
There
can
he
get him to go
Yeah,
outside.
I'm here.
He's here.
Yeah, we need to get you to move outside that great big shield that keeps your cell phone from transmitting to the cell tower.
Okay, sure. Let me do that.
Yeah, go outside where it's raining. It's kind of ugly out there, and tell us more.
Yeah, and then we may come back in and look at some of the cars like we discussed. But
Let's do that right now.
Where are you located at?
I office out of a dealership. I have an office there. It's right off the Southwest Freeway and Fountain View, Team Autoplex.
Okay.
Yeah, a really good friend of mine owns it, and that's where I office. That's where Busted Knuckles Auctions office is. So
you offer an auction site to people that's totally virtual.
correct. Yes. And I'm not sure how much of the discussing the auction I got with you guys before it froze, but yeah, they bring their vehicles or motorcycles to me.
freezes when he wants to talk
About the time you start telling us about it, it goes into lockup on us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah. How far did I get with you?
Yeah.
You had me
Nowhere.
at hello.
Yeah, nowhere. Yeah. Hit it again. One more time.
Okay. You there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So.
Go
you hear
ahead.
me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So people bring their cars and motorcycles to me. I do the creative write-ups on them, let them pick the reserve price, put it on my auction website for 7 to 10 days. And if it doesn't sell, I allow them to relist it. And I collect 5% from the winning bidder. I do not charge to list or sell the car for the seller. That's where my niche is. I don't charge. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. I'm cruising your site right now, and you have 2 Honda 600s on the site right now. And if people don't know what a Honda 600 is, it is a teeny car with a little 600 motorcycle engine driving it. How cute is that? But
So,
you
yeah,
also
it's pretty.
It's got a wide variety of things on there.
yeah, there's Nissan GTR, some Jaguars, a Mercedes AMG GTR Pro. Hey, that's the one Alec Udell needs to buy and take to the track.
Yeah.
So, how many cars at a time are you trying to manage on the auction site? Is it kind of a little bit as much as you can? And then who facilitates the transport of the vehicle as well? And
If you thought for an instant that he could have heard you on that, no.
Well, I can tell you, he will work with them to help arrange transport.
Transport, okay.
He can point them in different directions on what to do.
Well, this cell phone thing is just not working for us. So what we're going to need to do is,
Can you hear me?
yeah, kind of. You're in and out, and so the cell phone thing. I think that you bought that cell phone over there at Walmart and hooked up with that AARP cell phone
No, that was me.
service.
That's a burner phone.
Yeah, it's a burner phone. But I tell you what, we talked the other day. Don't move too fast in there. That's part of the problem in there. But you got a couple of cars off your auction site that are actually there at that dealership. And we'll see if we can get a look at those. So I can hear him.
Well, nobody else can.
Uh-oh.
Are you there?
Trying to flip
There
this
you
camera.
go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. There you go.
Okay.
Show us what you got.
You guys there?
Mondial. So go ahead and tell us about them if we can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This is one of the cars on the side. It's a 65 Mustang convertible, 289 car.
Oops. Well, we're gonna have to revisit you again some point in the future.
Yeah, because
we're just in and out with you too much, and that's kind of a struggle for people who are trying to watch. But we'll get back a hold of you and bring you back on, see if we can do something about fixing some of the internet connections. But yeah, from the Honda 600 to a convertible Mustang to the new Corvettes to Ferraris and Mercedes. He's got a 51 Hudson sedan.
Oh, that's cool.
Resto mod on there. He's got some pretty cool rides.
A
on
Resto mod 51 Hudson?
A 51, a red 4-door, 31 Hudson. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a big difference between a 31
He's got a
and
couple of
51.
nice
That's
cars
20
here.
years.
He's got a Pro Touring 61 Corvette. That's gorgeous.
Now, he mentioned after 7 to 10 days, or he registers for 7 to 10 days. I would like to know, what is the average selling time if you, Conrad, put your rally on there and for whatever price you had, how long is the normal auction selling price that they have?
Oh, good
that,
question.
That would be the question.
Good question. Well, we'll have to ask him that in the
And then
future.
if it's after 10 days and they have to renew it, then is it because of the vehicle or maybe nobody's wanting to bid on it?
Well, yeah, and with the reserve price, as it bids up, do they get to the reserve price? But the cool thing about this versus, and I'll say Mecum, Mecum gets 10 from the seller and 10 from the buyer, and then when they go to that
negotiation period after the
period,
sale,
that kind of moves up and down a little bit. But for just 5 from the buyer. What a great opportunity for people to sell a car at an auction without as nearly as much expense.
I actually watched the majority of that last week's Mecum because I was kind of homebound. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. It's they work hard at it, and you can understand why they need that much when they move that many people in and take over that kind of a facility and run. Because I think they ran 1,200 cars,
something like that.
Kissimmee?
And this week's with that person's
Muscle Car
collection,
City, Trigworthy.
that's going to be cool to watch too.
Yeah. I don't know if that's on TV yet, but if it is, I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
Jeff is a big Cadillac guy, as we all know.
Yes, he is.
I am.
Well, he's a Cadillac guy. I don't know about anything that's big, but
I wouldn't know anything about that.
anyhow, Jeff's a Cadillac guy.
Well, Cadillac is taking 500 reservations for the 2022 CT4V and the CT5V Blackwing editions next month before the performance sedans hit dealerships this summer. The V-Series Blackwing models will have specially tuned chassis, vehicle control technologies, and engines. And a manual transmission will also be offered.
Oh, no kidding. Well, that's interesting to bring a manual shifter back.
Customers will purchase the track-capable sedans. Also, they will be invited to a 2-day Cadillac V Performance Academy driving school at Spring Mountain Motor Resort and Country Club in Pahrump, Nevada. I've been there.
I may need to start doing a new car review for Cadillac if you're out there listening.
Jeff's raising his hand. He wants to do the Pahrump.
Pahrump. I want to go to Pahrump.
That's right. It's what is it, about an hour outside of Las Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas.
You know the famous thing about Pahrump?
Yes, I think I do.
I bet you do.
No, I've heard about it. I have never actually visited.
That's the sound I make when I get out of bed. Pahrump.
Pahrump. Go ahead.
Are you going to tell
No, I
me?
was going to tell you that
where
the
the
company I
chicken
used to
ranch
work
is?
for had some facilities there, and that was the
A
closest.
company that he worked for had
Had
a
a facility down.
there.
That's the closest place that prostitution is legal in the state of Nevada to Las Vegas.
So that's why AT&T had a facility.
That was always my question.
It's a way to.
And I told them I need to go out there. You know, they got high-speed data services. I need to go out there and check it out. But
Hello,
I never
Becky.
could get there.
that's what he says today.
He put a junction in there.
Prump.
It is. It's a real place.
It is.
That
The
blew
only
up.
thing that I saw that was there was a racetrack. I didn't see any, saloons or whatever you want to call them.
The chicken ranch.
Well, there'd be lots of chicken ranches, I would imagine, out there.
He's shaking like a polar bear in a bikini.
You know, I have a whole series of Ford things, news stories that I thought this would be a
600 million of them, huh? Ruse was on before talking about he sure is happy working at a Ford dealership because the recalls keep him busy.
no kidding.
Job
Speaking
security.
of which, Ford Motor Company said Thursday it will recall 3 million vehicles for Takata airbag inflators. They could rupture at a cost of $610 million. NHTSA on Tuesday ordered Ford to issue the recall for driver's side airbag inflators, rejecting the automaker's 2017 petition to avoid it. The recall includes 2.7 million U.S. vehicles. Takata inflators, of course, have resulted in at least 400 injuries, 27 deaths worldwide, including 18 U.S. fatalities, with 2 in previously recalled 2006 Ford Ranger pickup trucks.
Yeah, and they say Edge, Fusion, Ranger, Lincoln MKX, MKZ, Zephyr, Mercury Milan, and the Mazda B-Series pickup truck.
They listed them this morning on the news. Kathy's got a 13 Fusion, but that recall that I saw only went up to 12.
Correct.
And this is for passenger side, not driver side.
But it's, again, this whole Takata issue with the metal rusting and fatiguing, and when the bag blows off, stuff comes flying out at the same time.
So I don't mean to be a pest or whatever you want to call me, but is there a reason that the camera is on me?
Yeah, because you're doing your highlight.
You're doing the news.
Yeah.
And we're all talking over the top of you. But go right ahead.
Here's a better shot for you.
That's a much better
Thanks,
shot.
Jeff.
And we particularly like all of the garden tools behind your
Well,
head.
you put
back
me
there.
in a closet.
Multi-purposing.
We're going to
Jeff,
fix that for
You've been
next
in the
week.
closet for a long time.
know.
You know, did you read that the 2021 Ford F-150 Raptor R is going to have 700 horsepower?
Imagine
I wonder
that.
if they're trying to react to the T-Rex, and that is actually a supercharged V8, not the twin turbo.
An unidentified quality issue is affecting the launch of one of Ford Motor Company's most anticipated new vehicles. The company said it is holding on to several hundred Mustang Mach-E crossovers to perform, quote-unquote, extra inspections and engineering analyses that could delay delivery to customers in the U.S. and Canada by up to 8 weeks.
Yeah, we don't know what it is. We're still looking for it, so we're going to hold on to them.
The least expensive model, the Select trim, starts at $43,995, including shipping. Customers are also eligible for a $7,500 federal tax credit. The crossover is a critical part of the company's future and a symbol of the type of connected, electrified vehicles Ford hopes to sell moving forward. Okay. Images of the Ford Bronco SUV, Bronco Sport crossover, and upcoming Maverick compact pickup truck. Have you heard about the Maverick?
Maverick? No.
They're bringing back the Ford Maverick, apparently, in a
Sweet.
compact pickup.
So they're going to do a grabber version?
The images have recently leaked ahead of their formal introduction. Before a full image of Ford's compact pickup was released, images and computer renderings of the vehicle's alleged tailgate stamped with the name Maverick leaked. Oops. All automakers typically contend with leaks and spy photos as new model launches draw near. In some cases, such as with the Mustang Mach-E in late 2019, the leaks are accidentally self-inflicted. But in recent cases, photos of upcoming Ford models appear to have been shot from within plants or from other manufacturing facilities.
Not to be outdone by Ford, General Motors is recalling 840,000 U.S. vehicles because front seatbelts can fail. The seatbelt recall covers 624,000 2019 through 2021. I mean, like, this is today cars of the Chevrolet Silverado, GMC Sierra, also included are Suburban and Tahoes. Go to safercar.gov, enter your VIN, and find out whether or not you're in this Ford versus Chevrolet challenge.
Oh, yeah? Well, I can top that for you because I got
the internet challenge here. Oh, my gosh.
One more, if I may.
There we go.
One more.
There's plenty more, but yeah.
A Ford Motor Company safety recall being investigated after NHTSA received 11 complaints that the 2019 power tailgate remedy did not work. The defect was caused by water entering the electrical wiring system, causing a short circuit, resulting in the unintended switch activation and release of the tailgate latches. Oops, Martha, this $5,000 worth of gravel we've got back there, it's all laid all over the freeway.
Well, if you pull into your driveway and lay it down, it'd be great. But at 70 miles an hour, that's going to break a lot of windshields.
The Associated Press reported that complaints received by NHTSA reveal the trucks are still experiencing the issue.
And, of course, Honda wants to get in the mix as well.
Oh.
Honda is issuing a recall for 735,000 2018 through 2020 Honda Accord and Insight vehicles for a problem with the body control module software.
You know, it's interesting because it just keeps on going.
It never ends.
It never ends. And it used to be, oh, my God, my car is being recalled. Yep. Now
it used to be a stigma. Now it's like a competition.
It's exactly what it is, a competition. Let's see how many recalls we can get on this vehicle this month. I win. Just thought I'd bring that up. Want to do This Week in Auto History?
Sure. And I think Jeffrey's got some photos to go with it.
I got something like that.
Yeah, but don't hit it too soon because we got to get to that.
Yeah, no, we're there. We're there. And This Week in Automotive History in Beaumont, Texas, the home of Mr. Mars, the 100-foot drilling derrick named Spindletop produced a roaring gusher of black
ooze
of black crude. They said that the oil was about 10 inches deep around this from everything that was squirting out of the ground. So Beaumont is a super fun cleanup site.
You can't say the word squirting.
Out there. In 1913, the world's first closed production car was produced, which instead of, it actually had a hard roof on it. That was a little quick there, Jeff.
No, sorry.
And it was the Hudson Model 54 sedan. In 1942, Ford signed on to make Jeeps for the war effort. So Ford was producing...
But that's when Willis actually...
Well, yeah. Ford was building the general-purpose multi-vehicles needed for the American war effort. The original Jeep design was submitted by the American Bantam Car Company, and Willis Overland won the Jeep contract. All three, Bantam, Willis, and Ford, were producing vehicles for the war effort.
Just like that.
Just like that. And there's things you can identify, but people who know can identify which one was manufactured by who. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that three different manufacturers.
How could you tell?
Well, some of the tagging and some of the uniqueness of different parts of the body were
It was in the grill also, parts of the grill.
In 1958, Toyota and Datsun, later named Nissan, made their first appearances in the United States.
That's not it. That's a Corvette.
Oh, well, that was 1953. The Chevy Corvette was introduced to the show car at New York's Waldorf Astoria. The car became an American classic. The first one, this is the first introduction of Corvette to the public.
They also made salads, too, at the Waldorf, didn't they?
They made a Waldorf salad, which has apples in it. And
apples and pecans.
And pecan. Well, pecans in New York. It's pecans in Texas. Go ahead to the next one, Jeff.
Alrighty.
I kind of got ahead of myself.
There you go.
In 1958, the first of the Japanese imports started coming into the United States. They were shown at the Los Angeles new car show. Previously, these automakers had sold in the U.S. only under American brand names as part of a joint venture with Ford and GM. In 1979, the final VW convertible was produced.
No, it wasn't.
In 1979, the final VW Bug convertible was produced. They've since made the new generation ones, which is the front engine one,
Bug 2.
But
you didn't say that.
Well, I just did. In 1985, General Motors launched the Saturn Corporation, wholly owned independent subsidiary. Saturn produced a sporty, affordable, plastic-bodied two-door car. That the body on that was plastic. You can go up there and push it and dent it and everything.
I had a sister-in-law that owned one, and she loved it.
Yeah, they were actually not a bad car.
Weren't the factory out in California?
No, the factory was in suburbs of Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And I can't remember the exact name. Spring Hill, Tennessee.
That was GM's answer to the import car craze from Japan.
Correct. But also, Saturn customers were that uniquely loyal customer, kind of like a Subaru customer is or a Saab customer.
That guy that hung out in the library all the time.
And then in 1989, the Dodge Viper was introduced at the North American International Auto Show. The Viper was a modern tribute to the classic Shelby Cobra. The production version didn't come out until 1992, 3 years later.
And I have to tell you that the first time that I had a Viper, it scared me.
It should. The early Vipers had no brains at all.
Correct. Nothing.
You know, there was no traction control. There was no analog brakes. They were very raw, lots of power, and you needed to really understand
Mr. Mars
how to
and I
drive
actually knew, still do, a journalist that he got away from him, and he put it on its roof, and they took it back to Detroit and crushed it.
It was in the press fleet, and it happened to be his turn. So a lot of people didn't get a turn behind that. I don't know.
You don't want to give his name out on the air.
We're not. No.
Oh, come on. Let's make it fun.
Harold Gunn.
Not that we would say that.
No way.
No. Well, again, Viper introduced a whole new genre of cars to the market. And then all of a sudden, everybody started jumping on the supercar bandwagon because Viper was very much a supercar. And to this day, still a pretty valued collectible car.
Next hour, I'm going to do a story about historic replica cars and a decision that NHTSA,
I saw that.
Yeah, NHTSA has come out with. So I want you to stay tuned for that. We're going to take a quick break now, and we'll be back with more of the In Wheel Time Car Show right after this.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You will see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy, weather permitting. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
Welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Show. We talk about all things automotive. Coming up, Jeff is going to have our pre-owned featured car of the week, the 2017 VW Passat, if you're into used cars. Racing season right around the corner. We'll tell you when and where. Plus, Conrad will have his weekly car clinic, and we'll also have the stories making auto news headlines. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show for January 23rd, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong, and Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today.
We've won an award for this?
Multiple.
Years and years ago.
Well, I remember the one of them was Antron Brown interview, which was just a hoot. Hopefully we entered this year's Antron Brown interview as well, because that was a lot of fun.
Can't hear it. But at any rate, There's that. But we do have, at this particular time, another guest. Do we not, Mr. Mars?
Yeah, we're double checking audio, but he's here. He's looking good.
Brian, are you on there? Can we hear you?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Oh, my God, it's a miracle.
It is today.
Technology.
Are you up there near the Dearborn area?
I am, yeah. Just Metro Detroit area. It's good 11 degrees out this morning. And, you know,
I was born in Detroit.
you were you?
Yeah, I grew up in Dearborn Heights.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I used to stop at the White Castle there out by the airport in Dearborn.
Know the place, yeah.
I used to ride horses between my house and school up there in Michigan.
Uphill both ways.
Both ways,
In
yeah.
the snow.
In the snow.
Well, it's only 60-something here today, so welcome to Texas.
Yeah. Well, Brian,
Yeah,
Brian,
that'd be nice.
yeah, Brian is the man. Ford F-150 is his badge, and he's also the hybrid guy.
Well,
All right.
he is the man if it's F-150.
F1, yes, he is, but the hybrid part of it, I think, is we're going to underscore that here in this particular interview with him. So, Brian, is there today a Ford F-150 hybrid?
Yeah, so we're launching the hybrid now, right? It's part of our new truck coming out in 2021. Went on sale at the end of last year. You'll start to see them in dealerships now, and so far it's getting a great response.
So tell me about the hybrid version of it, and why would I want to buy one?
Well, you know, when you really look at the powertrain itself, it takes our really, really strong 3.5 liter EcoBoost powertrain, right, with that gas turbo direct fuel injection that has so much power and capability, and it marries to it an electric motor. So you're really kind of getting the benefit of all this power and capability plus additional power from the electric motor that gives you tremendous capability and great fuel economy at the same time. So we think it's a true win for our customers.
So give me a background on fuel economy, because I think that's important, as well as torque, grunt, and reliability. So how much horsepower does a regular F-150 with the EcoBoost engine in it? How much horsepower does that have?
So our 3.5 EcoBoost in 21 has 400 horsepower, 500 foot-pound of torque. The hybrid goes to 430 horsepower, 570 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow. Oh, my God. So, okay, all right.
It's our most powerful engine in the lineup.
Well, and that's pretty stout in anybody's book, I have to say. And this is a gasoline version. Now, where do you put the electric motor?
Well, they mounted into the transmission, between the transmission engine housing is where it is. And I will tell you, I'm more of the marketing guy than an engineer. So I've seen the rolling chassis and talked to the engineers about it. And they married it up in there between those two places.
So does the hybrid power...
our 10-speed.
Does the hybrid powertrain just kind of help at launch, or does it work purely as an electric at low speeds?
It will work purely as an electric at low speeds. So there are times you can be in electric mode only, and there's times you can be in gas. It does help at launch. It does help going down the road as well, right? We've pulled trailers at a drive event with it, and on some slight downhill grade where literally you're just in electric mode with the trailer on behind. So
it's a little bit different in application than some of the other hybrids that are out there, because a lot of the other hybrids that are out there really only engage kind of at the launch mode. But you guys are doing the launch as well as down the road, which is pretty, a different way to do it, which really is what helps the customer in the
now.
fuel economy.
Even though that it has more horsepower, does it get better gas mileage?
it does, yeah. So the hybrid is rated up to 26 mile per gallon on the highway.
Wow!
For a full size pickup truck, so it's pretty strong.
Yeah. And clearly you guys have sales expectations. For truck guys, at least down here in Texas, they're going to go, a hybrid in my Ford F-150 pickup? I'm not too sure about that. So how are you dealing with that kind of mindset?
What we found with our customers, if you think about the history of F-150 over the last decade, right? We launched our EcoBoost powertrains and showed customers that a V6 powertrain could do everything and more that a V8 can do, and customers have really rallied behind it. Then we went to our high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body, showed the strength and the capability and how lightweighting the truck really benefited them. Now we're doing it again with a hybrid powertrain, right? And we're out there showing the customers. We've had some drive events, and we're doing things to show the proof points. We've got some great videos online, but it's another powertrain. It's another opportunity for them to see kind of the advance in technology that really is not. It's not taking away from anything. It's actually adding. It's adding capability. It's adding efficiency. It's it's really kind of like I said before. It's a win, or we call it an and solution for customers.
And does it give you any indication? I know some of the other systems that are out there, the dash kind of tells you what's happening with the hybrid gas engine integration. Do you have some kind of feedback to the driver when it's engaged?
Yep. So on the instrument cluster itself, you can see the basics in the tachometer, right? When it goes to 0, and then it'll tell you your electric mode. But also on our new 12-inch touchscreen in the center stack, there's a screen in there where you can actually see the power flow, where it's coming, what's happening at the same time. So
that's
really
that's kind of cool to watch, because if you learn to watch it and you can learn how your driver input can keep it in the electric mode and really excel your fuel economy on it. You said 12-inch screen.
Yep. So our new truck has a 12-inch touch screen in the center stack that it's on over 60% of our lineup. And that new screen tied to our new Sync 4 system with better voice controls, voice commands, has been a really big hit for our customers. They love it. It functions really, really easily for them, and it gives them great information right at their fingertips.
Well, it's really a brand new dash, is it not? I mean, it includes the instrument cluster as well.
It does. Actually, an all-new truck, right? So in 21 model year, the truck is all new. Over 90% of our parts are new. I think it's actually 95%. So it's an all-new vehicle. And, we've done a lot of work on it on the interior, the exterior, to kind of give customers that strong, capable look they want on the exterior, and on the inside, give them some more of those amenities and features that they really like, including that touchscreen. And then on our Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum and Limited models, we actually have a full digital dash. The instrument cluster's all digital as well.
Yeah, I have to tell you that I'm currently driving one now. It is not the hybrid; it is the EcoBoost V6. But I have to tell you that that dash is truly impressive, and it was time. It was time for you guys to update the dash, and I think that you've done an excellent job. And I think that the people that are out there looking for a truck, they certainly need to go and check out the Ford F-150 if they haven't already.
We'd love them to do that, and you can find all sorts of stuff on Ford.com or go see your local dealer. The trucks are in the showrooms now, so it's really easy to go check them out.
Well, you know how disappointing a year this has been because car shows typically are huge when it comes to people crawling in and out and under and over the truck to get all of the nuances, and especially a brand new model that has come out. A brand new truck, and
there's no car shows to show it off at this point, so the only place people can see it's at the dealership.
And I was going to ask you regarding that: is there enough of these F-150s that you can actually go see one at a dealership now?
Yeah, they're shipping now. You should be able to find them at most dealers now. Find at least a few of them to go take a look at and check out. Yeah.
I was going to say Tim Estradal. He's a member of the TAWA. I don't know if you know Tim, but he just picked up his hybrid up in Nebraska, I think 2 weeks ago.
Well, they get them earlier up in Nebraska because they're closer to the factory. Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting because I had the same questions about, down here, I've had a truck for, I don't know, a long time, and I use it as a truck a lot. And it was kind of like, why do I want a hybrid, towing and all that stuff? But he had a little blip out on his YouTube channel where he went to help a friend work on his house, on his fence, and he actually had a chop saw sitting up in the back of the truck and all these power tools because of the electrification of the truck. He didn't need to bring his generator with him to run all that stuff. And I thought, okay, now there is a practical
application
use for a hybrid truck.
Yeah, you got a 110 power outlet in there that's going to run Don's refrigerator.
It's got enough wattage that it can do something besides, just turn on some lights.
It comes standard with a 2.4 kilowatt inverter, which is, you think about those 2,000 kilowatt generators. It's a lot of power.
Yep.
Then you can option up to a 7.2 kilowatt generator that actually has a 240 plug in it.
Hey, because I got a Honda 2000 generator, a little suitcase generator. When the hurricanes come and the power goes out, it'll run half my house. And you're telling me I could back up there with my truck and just plug it into the truck.
Well,
and
wait
go.
just a minute. Let's take it a step further. I'm thinking that for me personally, right out there in the driveway, hook up the dryer to it and do my laundry out there in the weekend.
No, you could be a rescue service for EV vehicles with range anxiety. Just bring them in, plug them into the 220.
Yeah.
You have a 220 plug in the back of a pickup truck with the optional inverter.
Yeah. Oh, yep. We do. It's
That's crazy.
You need that power at a job site for welders or compressors, whatever. We've got that capability built into the truck for you.
Yeah, but taking it like you say though, if you got like Don's got EV range anxiety, so he can only go his 40 or 50 miles, then he could call a tow truck. They could pull it up on the trailer, plug it into the back of the F-150 and charge it while they're towing him down the road.
That's great. Thanks. Your mind is working in overtime now.
It certainly
But
is.
we're glad to hear it's working at all.
Yeah, that it is. Well, Brian, I mean, the bottom line is that the Ford F-150 is the number one vehicle, forever, especially here in the state of Texas. And I think that, for regular people that listen to this show, they don't really think about that the Ford F-150 is used a lot in the construction business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, there are guys that use construction tools, whether it be saws or whatever the case may be, that they have to have some sort of an electrical source. Mm-hmm. And what a handy thing this is. And clearly, Ford doesn't offer an option unless they know people are going to use it. Mm-hmm.
Right.
We studied a lot, and we did a lot of research for our customers with this new truck, and a lot of the new features in it really came from that customer research, where we didn't actually just go to like clinics and have people come in. We actually went and went to work with people and stayed with them for a couple of days, right? We didn't stay at their house. We would literally spend a couple of days with them watching how they use their truck. And that led us to things like the generator mode in the vehicle, because we see them haul generators and gas cans or propane tanks, and there's theft issues, and how do you tie that stuff down? We figured out a better way to do that just built into the truck.
Cool.
Pretty creative.
So let me ask you. So you've got all this good stuff going on with the F-150. I run Interstate 10 a lot, coming over here to the program and stuff, and see a lot of people doing hot shot work. Are you looking, or can you talk? Are you looking at the Super Duties? Going up to the 250s?
I don't have much info to tell you on Super Duty at the moment. We're just excited to get this F-150 out there with our new hybrid powertrain.
Stay focused on the topic, Mars.
I know.
Don't wander off.
Well,
Mars,
I'm just thinking future use here.
Mars, you've done this long enough. He's not going to talk about, F9000s or whatever it is. That's future product. That ain't going to happen. But I will say this, based on what's happened in the past, if it's on the 150, you could almost guarantee you that it's going to move up the food chain rather quickly.
Well, with horsepower, with the numbers, the engine and stuff combined, I can see hot shotters using that.
Stan and Sheila are saying, will it be powerful enough to run a margarita machine?
I was thinking that too, a beer cooler or something of that nature.
Well, and if electricity doesn't work, he's already mentioned things like propane, fuel alternatives, that sort of thing. Just mount you a big tank in the back, whatever you need, you got it back there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but there's lots of capability with the F-150, and they offer every kind of option known to man, including off-road and that sort of stuff. And you could, probably one of the most user-friendly vehicles known to man on the face of the earth is the F-150. Tow the camper, bring the kids, whatever the case may be.
Everybody's got one.
It was
pretty much.
My first truck was an F-150. And it just
I thought it was an F1.
No, that was Don's first truck. Don's a little older than I am.
Yeah,
they called them chariots back then.
Chariots. Thank you very much. But so they're on the way if they don't have them at the dealership already. Now, is that same thing hold true when it comes to the hybrid?
Oh yeah, we're shipping hybrids as well right now, so you should see them at most stores already, if not today, in the very near future. But they are shipping. They have been since the end of last year.
They're headed south.
I brought this up before. Since Texas is really your number one market when it comes to F-150s, I want to know when you're going to build a plant here and start making them here in Texas.
Well, we've got two great manufacturing facilities that do a great job for us right now, but Texas is an important market to us, and we'll always do our best to support it down there.
Well,
but no new announcements.
What a great corporate answer! All of that.
I'm telling you.
He must be in the marketing department.
He said he is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's great to talk to you, and we really appreciate it. I guess Ford.com is the place to go.
Yep. Yeah, you can find all the information on Ford.com. Just look up the new F-150, and all 6 powertrains are there, including our hybrid with all the specs and details on them. And
cool.
And go check them out at the dealers, test drive them. It's we think you're going to really like it.
So our last parting question is going to be: when you coming down here and buying us some tequila shots at Loopy Tortillas?
Boy, I would love to. I haven't been able to travel for a while, but 60-degree Texas weather and those, that little party sounds pretty good.
Well,
they let me. I'm in.
He's got to dig himself out of the snow first.
11 degrees.
Brian Bell, it's a great pleasure to talk to you. Fun interview, and we thank you so much, and good luck with the F-150 hybrid.
Well, thank you very much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
man.
Yep. It's great to talk to him. Some of these guys, you just can't help it but go off the rails just a little bit.
Well, you could probably plug in one of the heaters to the back of that truck if it's 11 degrees in Detroit.
Right, and with the margarita machine right next to it. Exactly. Okay, let me turn the page here because I know I've got something. Oh, we need to do the racing calendar. You and I were talking before we went on the air this morning about the
starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
IMSA is going to have their Roar before the 24 when they're testing today, and then tomorrow they're going to have a qualifying race.
Is Cadillac in IMSA this year?
Cadillac is still in IMSA. So is Corvette. So is Corvette.
How dare you ask?
And well, Cadillac runs the DPI prototypes, and then Corvette's running the C8. That Corvette, the C8 won the championship last year. So.
In the top 10, you'll probably have 4 of them in the top 6.
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
One of them, Wayne Taylor Racing, who the black number 10 car,
right?
He switched to Acura.
He did
when Acura
that
pulled
was
out
before last year. He did that.
Yeah, when Acura pulled out of a corporate sponsorship, Wayne Taylor Racing bought one of the 2 cars in the programs from them, and they're going to.
And that Cadillac shirt I wear, the big Cadillac shirt, the Cadillac Racing, that's where that came from. That IMSA Racing.
Okay.
And in
so
fact, I'll wear it.
IMSA is going to be on the Roar before the 24. Tomorrow it's actually going to be on TV. And then the 24 Hours of Daytona is next weekend. After that, they start with the NASCAR at Daytona. Daytona qualifying is going to be February 7th. The Clash at Daytona is the 9th. And Thursday, the Duels at Daytona, which is the Daytona qualifying, the twin qualifying racing. And then the 14th on Valentine's Day is the Daytona 500. And then following that, once we jump into March and stuff, you're going to start seeing IndyCar back on the air. NHRA starts on the 14th of March with the Gator Nationals. It's still scrambled that they're starting the season with the Gator Nationals, and then they're going to go to Atlanta. And then on April 11th, they're going to go back to California to Pomona for the Winter Nationals, which was always the starting one. And that one's kind of still in limbo as to whether or not they're going to be able to pull that off. Depends on what's going on in California.
Well, they're coming here.
Yep. No, I mean, California, they're still shut down, and whether or not
so
they'll be
screwed
able to do
up,
that.
you mean?
It's a nuisance. A nuisance. I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's okay. I get it.
Yeah, it's fun to see the racing is back on the calendar, and we're getting started with it. Formula One is March 18th, the Australian Grand Prix, and more to come.
I've got this archaic looking, you can't really see it, but there it is. I got this hand scratched actual racing schedule for 2021
from Gina
from Gulf Coast Racing Series.
Okay,
and so another new name. So the actual first race at Houston Motorsports Park, April 3rd, with the usual guys out there, right? And then there is on April, May 8th is Houston Motorsports Park. And then May 15th, it looks like Mobile International Speedway.
Alabama.
Yeah. Gina set this up. And so it's going to be.
Oh, see, I tried to look for a schedule for her, and I couldn't find one.
Well,
so
that's what
why,
it looks like currently.
Oh, so she just has it written on paper right now.
Yeah, and
Gina, post it up where everybody can
she's
see
going
it.
to, but she's got to get it printed and all that
Got
sort
to
of
make
stuff.
a party.
She just made this week, and I guess everything's all looking good.
So she did get that set up. That's
She
cool.
did. And
She
it
had
looks
phone issues this week, too.
And it looks there's going to be 4 races in Mobile, and the rest of them here. Now, there's going to be appearances at Talladega.
Appearance. What is an appearance?
Well, I'm not exactly sure how you would define an appearance.
Are you driving the pace car for that one? Or?
Not at Talladega. I wish. That sure would be fun. I'd do that.
Bobby, what was Bobby what? Who's the
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
God.
He could be Donnie Bobby now.
Or he could be Don Trickle.
Cold Trick.
Don
Cold
Trickle.
Trickle. Yeah, Don Trickle.
Well,
yeah.
I could see Donnie Bobby out there running up and down the track in his underwear, thinking he's on fire.
Yeah, or wearing the chicken suit that.
You know, if I left it to you guys, I could only imagine how I'd be dressed and what I'd be driving.
We'd have a remote.
We'd
from
take
there.
care of you.
You'd be driving a Renault Dauphine
Oh,
around Talladega,
No,
2.5 miles. It would only take you 7 minutes to do it.
That's okay. What I'd do is I'd go up to East Texas, up to Grand Saline, and pull Puss Wilson, and we would have him recreate an incident that happened with me in the car back in the 1960s.
When you shredded the suspension off the bottom of it?
No, we didn't do that. We just kind of sliced it all off the bottom of the car.
Alrighty.
Didn't shred it.
I wasn't driving. I was merely in the front seat with eyes about that big around going, oh, my God, we're going to crash.
All these incidents, he's never been driving. He
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
driving there.
Oh,
He didn't do the
you don't
smoky
blame
burnout
me.
with it. He wasn't driving
I was there. I saw it happen, but I wasn't the cause of it. Sure.
Kind of like Mars, in his tickets.
Well, be careful. Becky's watching. Let's not get Mike in
she
big
logged
trouble.
on. Yeah,
No, she's not
Just a little
watching.
trouble.
Is she really? She
yeah.
is?
She logged on.
She wanted to hear the stories.
Secrets. Yeah, no, there's no doubt. You know what I missed in the first hour of the show? Let me go back and remind myself of what
Yeah, I was going to
missed.
say, I'm looking.
In the first hour of the
Was
show.
it in the first 6 minutes?
No, not quite, because we weren't on the air then. I missed the events calendar.
Yeah, but I plugged all that in when we did everything else. I know you missed it.
So
It
we
was
took
behind.
care of you.
I give
Just
him
kinda
cues.
pushed it all.
I give him
Pushed
cues,
it all
and he could have just said, you're right. Let me go ahead and dig that out, and we'll do that after.
I don't have to dig it out. It's right in front of me.
So now that he throws me under the bus. Okay, well,
Kima car meet tonight, 6 p.m. Always a fun
where
thing
at
to
Kima?
go.
Boardwalk?
Yeah,
Really?
in that parking garage thing they have there.
Yeah.
Parking garage?
No, but it's the parking lots around the garage. Pretty cool.
Oh, the last time I went, they were in the garage.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had a whole floor up there reserved for it. You went
that's
up into the
cool.
parking garage for the car show.
For the weather.
Well, it was on top. It was really nice. And the other time, it was down the floor because it
was raining,
drizzling and
Right.
raining. So
and
put it
Ryan's
undercover.
Ryan's gone to it, and I'm sure we can get him to do a video. The question is whether or not we can get his dad to format the video where we can run it on the air. We keep talking about Ryan and friends, and what are we calling that segment?
Ryan's Excellent Car Adventure.
Ryan's Excellent Car Adventure, except we can't get it formatted in a way to put it on the air, or when we do get it, there's no sound.
We just need to get the Betamax machine over here and fix it that way.
Ryan, just use your phone. Quit using that high-dollar GoPro you got for Christmas.
Yeah, there's definitely a problem with that.
Well, he's a teenager. He's outpaced this technology.
Well, that's easy to do, is to outpace us technology.
Here's something. Here's a novel idea. Why don't we stop all of this? Pause here for just a second. You two swap, and we can.
No, we can
we
do-
don't need
We
to
don't
swap.
just swap. There's a camera in front of Jeff.
Yeah, just
we can
toss
look
the-
right up.
We got the Jeff cam.
We can look right up his nose.
Sure, why not?
Right. Well, the pre-owned car of the week time is now, and doing his chore, and that is to do his actual review of the 2017 VW Passat. Ladies and gentlemen,
ready to go.
is JD himself, Jeffrey Zekin.
Ta-da! We'll let Mike.
There
do
he
that.
is.
There he is.
So now you have to look down at the
I'll just do it
camera
like
right
this.
there.
I'll just put it up like that.
No,
Nope,
don't
nope,
do that. Can't do that.
So we're going to do a 2017 Volkswagen Passat S. The available trim levels are the R line, the CC, the SEL, the S, and the wagon. for right now. There's others available. The S is what we're doing. It's a small 4-door sedan, seats 5 to 6 people. I would say 5 comfortably rather than the 6. Changes year over year, minor grille changes, fascia dressings, rear bumper and deck changes. Exterior features are body colors for the bumper, black and chrome grille inserts, either or you could get. You've got the perimeter approach lighting, which are the side markers and the front corner markers as such, and a backup camera. That would be so far as the exterior features. Interior, you've got a 60/40. You got the video, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You've
It's running.
perfect. You've got the 60/40 front bench split. You got a 6-way driver's seat, 4-way manual passenger seat. You got a tilt wheel, 5-inch touchscreen, and of course the Bluetooth with all the accoutrements that go along with
Accoutrement.
that. Accoutrement. Now, what we're looking at here is the 1.8 liter 4-cylinder. It is a TSI. The TDI is the 3.6 cylinder V6.
Diesel.
Correct.
That's the one that got them in so much trouble when they lied on the.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't want to do. I wanted to do the 4-cylinder.
And that's the most popular powertrain they have in them is the turbo.
And it's, of course, it's a 4 valves per cylinder, ranging anywhere on the 4-cylinder 170 horsepower to the 280 horsepower on the 3.6, and then the torque would be 184 to 258 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs 3263 in the pounds, and then it's for some reason they advertise and boast that they have a 140 watt amp alternator.
Ooh, 140 watt amp alternator.
Right. 140
140
amp. I'm sorry. I said watt. 140 amp alternator.
Okay.
It is a 6-speed.
Why would you boast about that?
That's what they in the write-ups.
Because he only got 160 horsepower.
They're proud of it. 170 horsepower with a 140 amp alternator.
Yeah, run it off the end.
There you
so
go.
if you add the two of them together, you got 310.
But it was very noticeable in the reviews that I was following up on. It's a 6-speed overdrive transmission, automatic, 23 miles to the gallon city, 34 on your highways and byways, and of course 30 combined. It's an 18.5 gallon fuel tank. Now hold that shot if you would there, Mike. We're getting to that in just a moment. You've got ride and handling. You've got the 4-wheel disc brakes. And another thing that they kind of focus on is they have a hill hold option, which I call emergency brake.
Yep.
It's the hill hold.
Well, it's
It's a European term, I guess. 215 60/16 all-season tires, and you can get alloy, either black or silver inserts on that. You've got the ESC, which is electronic safety control options. You got the curtain airbags, which are very safety-oriented. The vehicle that we're looking at on the TSI, the 4-cylinder, you're looking at 11,200-ish with 41,378 on the miles, which is actually pretty decent. That's a pretty good price for the 41,378 on the mileage. It's a good German engineering car. And it's been tossed around by a lot of manufacturers that have owned it and passed it on and owned it and passed it on.
And the Passat and the Audi A4 share a chassis.
Right. And, of course, the setbacks, and Don mentioned it earlier, was the diesels. Now, what you're seeing there, since we're all been in the logos lately.
The logo review.
The logo review.
And
so the first one was Hitler's.
Right. Exactly. Well, it was in that time frame. It was in the 30s.
Well, it was Hitler's.
And you can see progressively, if you can see that on your screen, it gives the year dates and so on.
That is so weird, man.
Yep.
Because it looks kind of Nazi-ish, doesn't it?
It looks swastika-ish.
And there's one that looks like a gear. Obviously, the second one next to that looks like a gear. And then they went ahead and redesigned it, maybe making the V's and the W's the aesthetically pleasing with their fonts.
So who was the lead engineer at Volkswagen at its inception? Ferdinand Porsche.
There you go.
Who, after Volkswagen, he developed the Porsche
exactly because
in
that's
the 50s.
Because of the Porsche design of the VW. Right. Now, there's even one that's not listed on there, and it's the new electric one where the logo actually lights up. So
the logo lights up, and it
doesn't have anything to do with people shaking hands or anything.
No. It's just a light up V-dub.
And it's not like the new lowercase GM one, is it?
No.
With the electric plug-in.
You have to turn your head sideways to look at it. No.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, that was fun. I had to get up out of my seat to actually go over to the monitor and look at the logos because you know me. I like to dissect them all, especially that Hyundai, which I'll never, ever get out of my mind.
You know, my wife, she can't look at a Hyundai on the road anymore.
I can't. Well, certainly not the logo, that's for sure. Hey, I want to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, InWheelTime.com, and Twitch. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict. The In-Wheel Time Car Show will continue right after this quick break.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You will see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In-Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy, weather permitting. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In-Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In-Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. This is the award-winning car talk show, In-Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars and King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin too. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday. This is last little snippet of our show for this week. Snippet meaning 30 minutes. Yeah, it's a new term.
Oh,
it's a technical term.
It's a very technical. Yeah,
thought it was something else.
Thank you for joining us today. Shots are in order after we get off the air today.
We're all going to get our vaccine.
You're going to need something.
That's right.
Oh, those kind of shots. All right.
I get version 2 actually on the 28th.
Okay.
So we're only 5 days away.
You ain't got no third eye in the middle of your forehead or anything yet.
There is something growing in the back of my head, however. So, no telling how it's going to develop after I get the second one.
It's his tail.
My tail. All right. So our next guest today is going to be Javier Gomez. He is the president of the Los Soberanos Car Club. Javier, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Thank you very much for coming.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Well, very good, but we're not as good as you are based on what we see behind you back there.
Cool man cave.
Yeah, this is a man cave. This is a treasure cave. I guess years and years of picking.
Well, Javier, how in the world did you manage to get all of that up above your head up there? We see things as well.
Yeah, so one of our loyal members has been picking for years from Santa Ana, California, over 40 years, I guess, of picking. So all of this is I guess years and years of accumulation of gold.
Well,
it looks like it.
Yeah, we don't know about the gold part, but we sure know about collecting stuff. And, when we move, we're all going to have to hire the company that delivers those great big humongous construction dumpsters out there.
Not necessarily, because I just fit it all in my trunk.
Yeah, we know that. That's exactly right. So tell us about first yourself. Obviously, you're a car guy.
That is correct.
So what is
so, From a little kid, playing with trucks and cars, as us guys, we love cars. So, I've been in love with that for years. And so, we founded this club in 2017. And here we are today, 4 years later, as strong as ever.
How many members do you have?
So we have seven members right now and 11 cars, all Prix 54 cars. We have 430s, we have 440s, and then the rest are 50s.
So are these
cars? And
are they original cars, customized cars? Tell us about the types of cars.
Yeah, they're considered bombs. They're pre-World War. You know, back in the day before 54. You know, they had a different shape until they started making them more sleek and aerodynamic. So our car club is made of these type of cars. They call them bombs.
Cool. Is that one of them behind you, the red one?
Yeah. So that's a 1949 Fleet Line. And we're working on a 1953 truck. So this is a 49 Chevrolet Fleet Line.
The original fastback, huh?
My son has a 50.
This original. Yeah, I think this is the Fleet Lines are one of my favorite, I think, cars. And that's actually one of our members, Rene Bustamante. He's from Santa Ana, California. And we're working actually on his truck. This is a 1953 pickup. Yeah.
Nice.
That's Rene Bustamante. Hey, say what's up.
Hey, how you doing?
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Beautiful truck.
Thank you.
So
it looks like it does not have the stock 6-cylinder engine in it.
No, he drives it everywhere. I mean, it's got a 350 with the 700R.
Makes it comfortable, especially in Houston.
Does it have air conditioning in it?
No AC. It's got windows, so that's
there
AC.
you go.
Yeah.
Get those vents you turn backwards so you get a little airflow.
Well, plus not only that, but that cowl vent as well with the big handle underneath the dash.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget that. You got to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty slick looking, though.
Yeah. So, do you guys go to lots of cruise-ins, or how do you
get? What do you do when you gather?
Yeah, so we get together every couple of weeks, and one of our members usually has somewhere to go to, so we'll shoot out a group text and we'll meet up at whatever location, whatever side. We have members on the north side, south side of Houston. So the good thing about our club is that each one of our members step up to the plate, and then they own up and create events that we all follow. So just because I'm the president doesn't mean that everything goes the way I say it. So we have different members that actually do more work than I do.
It's called delegation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so dictatorship doesn't rule in this club. So
we'd like to invite you guys out as a club to Tailpipes and Tacos on the 20th of February out at the Lupe Tortillas. And I don't know if you've been out there to that Tailpipes and Tacos yet, but I'd love to see you guys come in as a group as well. It happens.
We'd love to come out. Shoot us an invite, and we'd love to come out there and support.
So how can people find your club? Are you guys on Facebook?
Yeah, we have on Facebook, Soberano CC, and then on Instagram. Also Soberano CC.
So that would be something that your daughter or son probably set you up with, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, because that's typically not one of those things.
We had typing class.
Exactly.
There you go. So tell us about some of the other cars that are in the club. You got the both of the Chevys there.
Yeah, so we've got some very nice cars. And keep in mind that the substance of our club isn't really our cars, but the people that we have in our club. The cars come secondary, but we have some beautiful cars. We have 3 Buicks, a 1934, 1936, and a 1938 Buick. We have a 1937 Ford pickup. We have 2 1946. We have a Cadillac and a Fleet Line. We have 2 1949s, which is the Fleet Line behind me, and then we have a 1949 truck. and then we have three 1950s cars, which is the black truck you saw outside. We have another red truck, and then a black sedan.
Well, I love the genre. So, are there any rules about the year model? What year model is the limit?
54 and
54
older.
and older.
So right in your wheelhouse, Don.
You are so
But you're older than 54.
That's not what he meant. Thank you very much. Hardy har har.
So you would fit in right in our club. You know, our average age in our club is about 50 years old, which is.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's a good thing. We have some young guys and some older guys, and so we just have good chemistry in our club.
And then you would have the tweeners like me. I'm a tweener.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I get it exactly. Yeah, well, we would love to see you guys, especially out there at the Loopies in Katy. It's easy to get to, obviously, right off of I-10 and the tollway, the Grand Parkway out there. So
when is that coming up?
That's 20th of February.
Yeah, it's the third Saturday.
It's the third Saturday of February every month. And it's go out to Grand Parkway at I-10 and turn south on the service road and stay on the service road till you get to Kingsland and then turn east.
Oh, my God, it's too complicated.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Look up Loopy Tortillas in Katy.
Use the GPS on your phone. You'll find it. Yeah, you can't miss it. It's really...
Just don't Uber there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, Javier, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to meet you and the rest of the guys and the girls at the club, and we'll see you, I guess, in 3 weeks or so.
Yeah,
sounds good.
And in the meantime, you go out to their Facebook page, and they've got some pictures out there of some pretty cool cars.
Yeah, I just posted a link on our Facebook page to their Facebook page as well. Some real good looking iron there.
We look forward to seeing you, Javier.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Very cool.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny because there are genres of cars, and that is one of them.
People want to hang together with the same thought of their types of
they got
cars.
the mutual interest.
Right. And the fun thing about my grandfather had, I think it was a 53 or 54 Chevy. It was not
Fleetline.
It wasn't one of those fastbacks. It was what I like to call the old humpback. Yeah.
I should put Jason in touch with him because I think Jason's willing to part very soon with his 50.
Oh, that was a beautiful car.
Yeah, that's 49. It's the same styling, but different condition. His is all in the fab stage. So a little bit different.
In other words, he's done all the majority of the hard work.
Yeah, I mean, he's put the tunnel in, the motor works. He just doesn't have it running right now, but everything's going in the right direction.
Cool.
Well, the Suze has decided to join us here.
She was on top of the Corvette earlier.
Was she? That's great.
Scoping it out.
Yeah. Well, it's her kind of her little perch
Looking
on
for
the weekends.
squirrels.
Looking for squirrels. But doesn't have to go far to find that.
Usually underneath her, though. She can hear them packing their nuts inside your intake system.
Is that why she came back in here, was looking for squirrels?
Did he just say what
He
I
did, but I
thought?
tried to change the subject on it real quick, but it didn't work.
Why did you try to change the subject?
Well, and then they've eaten your insulation as well.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for you to go ahead and spell that out for us, too.
info@inwheeltime.com.
Keep them coming.
Have you noticed that as the time goes on, the lower I get in the seat?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
We've got
kind of goes on with the level of conversation.
Well, that's right.
We got pound cake after.
I think it's the back pain.
Here, I just wanted to let you know that I don't actually have to have this open, I don't think, do I? Well, I'll find out here in a minute.
Are you doing anything?
Don't
you need it? Don't you need it for your sound system?
No, I got it right there.
Okay.
We've got pound cake to eat after.
We do have pound cake and
True.
milk.
True.
Yep.
And milk. I've got a half jug of milk in there.
There you go.
Pound cake and Kahlua and milk.
I don't have any Kahlua.
Okay. Bailey's.
Don't have that either.
Yeah. What kind of restaurant is this?
I need somebody to consult me.
It's kind of like Angela when she flies. She has to have her Bailey's and coffee when she flies.
Is she bring it with her? Or
What is she, first class or what?
That's why she married me. She's first class girl.
I'm talking about
boy.
airline reservations.
As often as she flies,
she must be listening. If you're
she
going
has
there.
earned her way.
I see.
To ride up front.
Great. Well, there are those people. Thank you for being you. So what do we have coming up as far as remotes are concerned? So later this month,
Sheila and Stan said Don just needs to put on some gloves and slump over a little bit. He'll look like Bernie at the inauguration. George Skelton, there you go. You do a lot of the photoshopping for
here,
us.
let me go. Can you turn my camera?
Sure,
Let me give you my imitation.
You need a mask.
Here, let me give you my imitation of Bill Clinton.
Was he? I didn't watch any.
Oh
of it.
my
I didn't
God!
watch any of it.
I didn't watch a moment of it.
But
I see that picture of Bernie sitting there
With
all
the
by
gloves.
himself.
with the gloves, the hand knitted gloves. But Bill was caught
Dozing
sleeping.
off.
Okay, last week y'all were in the freezing
You can
temperatures
turn
at
this camera off now, but thank you.
at Tailpipes and Tacos. You all were in the freezing
my God,
temperature.
freezing.
You need to superimpose Bernie on the dais from that. So George, do that. Get Bernie and put him on the
They
dais.
put him in there as a
There you
guest,
go. Put him
right?
next to Don or Conrad.
It's the flat Bernie wherever he goes.
Yep.
So back to your question.
Oh, there was a question there.
So we have Tailpipes and Tacos coming up.
It followed the nuts question or comment.
Well, he was
earlier.
And speaking of
topical
nuts,
change,
February the 20th, Tailpipes and Tacos, 8 to 11,
Got
Lucky
that,
Tortillas and
yeah.
Katie. The following weekend is Lone Star Throwdown in Conroe. Big truck event.
Remote back to back.
Yep.
So all of those people that are coming in for Lone Star Throwdown a little bit early, they can come out to Tailpipes and Tacos.
We haven't figured
Coming
this
in
one
a
out.
week early, but
Well, that's
yeah,
okay. They're welcome to come to.
Oh, yeah. If they come in that early.
That'll fill up the parking lot.
And then, what did I say? Racing was at Houston Motorsports Park? Mm-hmm. Circle Track Racing? March or April?
I thought you said March.
You said March.
Yeah. So I don't have it pulled up on my phone.
my wife's
Well,
birthday.
Sheila, or not Sheila,
Gina.
Gina didn't share her schedule with me, just with you, but I guess she has to share it with the on-track announcer pace car
No,
driver.
I'm not the on-track announcer. No, I'm
that's
the winner's circle
the
announcer.
pit road announcer, winner's circle announcer. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So will you get into the NASCAR Hall of Fame to go along with your broadcasting Hall of Fame entry?
For driving the pace car?
Let me check.
No,
Sure.
for being the winner's circle.
Let me
announcer.
why not?
check that out.
Why not?
No.
I'd
Let me do all of my
nominate you.
research. No.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, and I don't expect anything like that to happen. But
Interesting.
I told Gina, I said, I saw a school bus race not too long ago. It's on YouTube. You can look it up. It is really fun and exciting, and the old junk school bus.
Oh, old junk one. I was wondering, new school bus?
No, not a new one. Not unless you stole it. But no,
Well,
it was an old junk school
see who
bus that
gets
they
caught.
got running.
You could buy them pretty cheap.
Yes, you can. But what would you do with it?
Race it?
Race it.
Apparently.
Apparently so. And I'm thinking maybe that's my calling. So I could start the school bus
the
division.
creepy old school bus
Yeah,
driver.
you'll have one of those leather helmets on with the big goggles and the long scarf wrapped around his neck.
That's it. Who's that guy driving the bus? Ooh, it's creepy old Don.
If he asks you if you want some candy, make him hand it to you. Don't reach in to take it.
Don't reach in. No. Don't get anywhere close to
How
it.
they have their names above the doors, above his would be Candyman.
Oh,
there you
Lord.
go.
No, I don't know. No, I'm good.
No, registered Candyman.
Anxiety.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, this is what happens when you have too much time
Squirrel.
on your hand. And it comes to the end of the show like this. I have
All
a
right.
couple of more. I have a couple of more stories if anybody's even interested. Now,
Well, we
now
still got to do the car clinic, too.
Well, what you want to do that now?
Sure.
Okay.
We've watched the industry as they've grown these automated parking systems that are built into cars. That's anticipated to grow quite a bit over the next couple of years. The influx of that technology in vehicles has increased significantly over the past 2 decades. You got to think the first integrated automated parking system is almost 15 years old now.
Wait a minute. What? Integrated parking system. What are you talking about?
You know how you pull up, you let go of the steering wheel, you tell it to park, and the car will parallel park for
yes.
you? Well, now, not only will they parallel park, they'll straight in park, they'll back in park, they'll angular park for you. They'll let you get out of the car and it'll park the car for you. So, as the systems have advanced with the technology, all of that also integrates into the fully autonomous car. So all of that technology they're proving at the automated parking level to bring into a fully autonomous car. And there's a growing demand for connected cars and autonomy, and that's encouraging the vendors to develop more and more solutions to the market. If you think about who's offering integrated parking or automated parking: Audi, Ford, Tesla, Lincoln, BMW, Jaguar, Volvo, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Cadillac, Toyota, Jeep Grand Cherokee's got
here's the question
parking.
when it comes to that. Is it really something that somebody would go to a dealership these days, buy a car because it does that here in Houston? It would be more along the lines of parallel parking, I think, in states that really don't offer the kind of parking that we have here.
Correct. Well, but they don't just parallel park, is what I was trying to say. They park in any situation that you need to.
Well, here's one. What about the hills, the San Francisco hills? I mean, you have to, if you're parking your vehicle facing downhill, you got to turn your wheel to the right. If you're parking uphill, you got to turn to the left, so that it's a curb action if that car rolls. I wonder how much power does that take to go?
Oh, good question. I got a couple of friends in San Francisco that have some newer cars.
More than a couple.
Well, yeah. Well, no, but I also know some folks that have got real close friends.
That would be my question: is if you're on an angle, one of the hills, the slopes, and you
you understand if you don't turn the steering wheel and the car breaks loose, it's going a long way.
Well, it's either going to roll in back or forth.
Right.
But the purpose of that is to design it to go into the curb.
So it's always into the curb.
If you're doing it autonomously and you say
will it accelerate out of it?
Right.
I would assume so. I got a friend with a Tesla. I'll give him a call and ask, because I know I've seen his car. He parallel parks it. So be cool to ask. But you got to think, vehicles that can parallel and perpendicular park by using the automatic steering feature, they have to handle what you're talking about, the car's accelerator and the braking system of the vehicle, using the radar system that's around the car to know distances and stuff. It's pretty high tech technology, and then all of that will advance to the fully autonomous car. And there's lots of manufacturers are playing with fully autonomous cars. San Francisco being one of the proving grounds.
Nancy Pelosi's parallel parking fiasco.
But it's that's a huge proving ground because of the technology that's there, but also because of the challenges created by the landscape.
They could try all that technology there close at hand.
Why not just learn how to park? Learn how to do it.
Well, when I grew up,
it's like saying learn how to drive.
When I grew up, you had part of the driver's test. You had to parallel park.
Yeah.
And if you touched the curb, you failed. And if you were more than 2 feet out from the curb, you failed.
1 foot. 12 inches.
We gotta have a competition. I can parallel park. Absolutely.
But I don't. Now push the button and it'll parallel park for you, and it'll get you into. I think it'll get you into smaller spaces than you could get yourself in. But the couple I've driven and parallel parked, it's not going to jicky jack you back and forth. It's going to back in and pull forward. It's all one motion.
Write that down.
If it's jicky jack.
Another technical term we're learning today.
They are going to sense the size of the opening and know the length of the vehicle to know if they could do it in one motion.
Rather than jicky jack.
Well, jicky jack is where you kind of go back and forth 5 or 6 or 7 times to really squeeze.
I had one where it was in a truck, full size truck, and we had to. It actually asked us because it was trying to squeeze into a parallel park, but it was there was a bus there. It was trying to get around a bus, and we had to put it back into drive so we could pull up just a little bit, and then it was good.
Mm-hmm.
My experience was a Ford Focus. They just came out with the technology, and you had to read how to do it. And you press the button as you go down the street where the parking is. It recognizes a hole that it'll fit in.
That it's measuring the space
and
of the hole.
And it'll go beep, and then you hit it, and away she went.
Pretty cool.
And it went right in there. It was perfect. Better than I could have done.
Pretty cool. And now I think it's Hyundai has a system.
Yeah. Did they get out of the car and shake hands?
System that you can hand off the car,
so to speak.
You get out of the car and you hand it off to the autonomous system.
Do we still have that on the computer? Maybe we could pull that up.
I'll lose control.
It went to the In Wheel Time Hall of Fame library.
Did it?
But, you get out of the car and it parks itself, which is just crazy as well. And then it'll pull itself out to get it in. The problem with that is it may pull into a space that's a little narrow, and the guy next to you is just going to bang the daylights out of your door trying to get in
because otherwise he's calling in the windows. If he can get the windows down,
and then you're jicky jacked.
Then your jicky is jacked.
There you go.
Anyhow, your phone going off.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Are we getting complaints again?
Yeah, it was the FCC actually that was calling, saying that your license is no longer worthy of being on the air anywhere anymore.
It was your English teacher.
My English teacher.
No, my
what was it? Was it the Jicky Jacky that got it going?
Yeah, they wanted to know about the jicky jacking in Pahrump, Nevada, on the internet.
That's perfect.
Sounds related.
I can only imagine.
With the Hyundai symbol logo. Oh, gosh.
All right.
So you got some more automotive news there,
Well,
Donnie?
I did, but I need to take a break. Well, I will say this. Let me just do this. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has finally completed regulations that permit low-volume motor vehicle manufacturers to begin selling replica cars.
Good story.
Low-Volume Motor Vehicle Manufacturers Act, which then President Barack Obama signed into law in 2015, allows the manufacture and sale of cars that resemble vehicles produced at least 25 years ago. It was delayed while awaiting the NHTSA regulations. Enthusiasts still have the option to build a car from a kit or create their own home-built replicas, but soon they may also purchase a turnkey replica car.
That's one of the things that DeLorean, there's somebody trying to
get him back on
Well,
the
I've
air.
reached out to him because they've also got some motor news that I read about. But there's also a cord. Somebody's trying to do that with a 31 cord?
39 cord, the coffin nose cord.
Yeah. There's somebody here in Houston. He was actually trying. He had it all together but he's waiting on this. Well, I need to find out if he's still. This was a couple of years ago. Whenever they started, this law got held up, which held up DeLorean and everybody else.
All right, we need to take a break here on the In Wheel Time Show. We'll be back and say goodbye to you right after this.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You will see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy, weather permitting. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
Is that the end?
Let's hope
or did
so.
you just shock yourself?
I touched the button and shocked myself.
His meds are kicking in.
Well, that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. When you're on Facebook, please give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our junk. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features along with all things automotive all week long. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Pandora, Amazon, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. Special thanks to all of our guests today. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our video sales and marketing man is Jeffrey Zekin. This week's In Wheel Time Car Show is produced and directed by James Bond. For booking agent and podcast man Mike Out of This World Mars and his royalty king Conrad DeLong, sales and marketing and technical director Jeff Zekin, I'm Don Armstrong saying so long for now, and we hope that you'll join us on the next live show next Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Thanks for being a part of the In Wheel Time family. Mask up, stay healthy, and we'll see you next week.